If you are a fan of SCP, you have probably thought to yourself on numerous occasions, what would happen if this SCP fought this SCP? Whatever. What would the outcome be? But I can assure you that what you haven't thought about is what would happen if these SCPs fought each other in an MMA setting. That is right, today we are going to be matchmaking SCPs under the MMA rule set. This will be just like a standard UFC title fight. 5 rounds, 5 minutes each, and under the MMA rules in an MMA octagon. So that means no pocket dimension for SCP-106, no tool bag or anything like that for SCP-049. This is a very interesting idea, and how we're going to do this is I'm going to list all of the SCP stats with a tail of the tape, their age, their height, their weight, etc. I'm going to break down the fight a little bit, and then I'm going to give my official prediction for who I think would win these hypothetical MMA matchups. Alright, we got some bangers here. Our first fight, SCP-173 versus SCP-049. Okay? The stats are somewhat similar, except for the weight and the age. I mean, holy shit, 1,036 pounds. Put down the fork, you fat fuck. And SCP-049, he's kind of a nunk. He's kind of an old head, 500 plus. But anyway, their strengths and weaknesses. SCP-173, unbelievable strength. Unbelievable strength. I mean, literally, he can snap your neck effortlessly. Unbelievable speed. This guy can get behind you and take your back in under a half a second. 049, very good fight IQ. Unbelievably intelligent, mixes it up very well, has a ton of tricks up his sleeve. This is a very interesting matchup, but there is one factor that I think is going to play heavily into the outcome of this fight, and this is actually the only fight in this video that I have 2 predictions for, and it is only because of this factor, okay? It is not explicitly stated whether SCP-049 blinks or not. Okay, we know he can see, we know he has eyes, but we don't know if he has eyelids. And whether he can blink or not is going to be a major factor in the outcome of this fight. My first prediction, assuming that SCP-049 does not blink, I'm gonna pick him by round 2 TKO. And let me explain why.
I love you, Poppy.
I think, 173, one of his biggest weaknesses... What the hell is that? What if his... okay, lock in. One of his biggest weaknesses is that he cannot move if you are looking at him. And I just feel like that the activity of SCP-049 is going to be too much. I feel like that the inactivity, just the lack of any intelligent defense or offense coming back from 173 is just going to force the referee to call the fight off. I don't think that 049 is going to do major damage 173. I think it's just going to be the fact that 173 is literally throwing nothing back in his direction and 049 can just tee off on him. I don't think that the touch of death is going to work against SCP-173, okay? Let me just get that out of the way. I don't think that 049 is just going to be able to touch 173 and put him away instantly. I think it's going to be like an overwhelming barrage kind of thing. And just because 173 can't move because SCP-049 doesn't blink, we are assuming that he doesn't blink here. I think that the referee is just going to see enough, and I think he'll call this fight by round 2. But my second prediction, assuming that SCP-049 does blink, I'm picking SCP-173 by round 1 submission. And let me explain why. 049, while he has that touch of death, it is kind of all he relies on, okay? We don't know how skilled he actually is in combat, and I feel like eventually this guy's gonna make a mistake, and he's gonna blink, and SCP-173 is gonna just gonna snap his neck. I don't think that it is going to kill 049, okay? Let me just get that out of the way. But I think that it is going to incapacitate him temporarily, and the referee is going to see that, and he's going to call the fight off. I think it's going to happen early into round 1, very early into round 1. But this is the only fight, like I said, this is the only fight that I will have 2 predictions for. I think whether 049 blinks or not is the deciding factor of this fight. But yeah, my second pick, if 049 does blink, I'm definitely confident in him by round 1 submission. But if 049 does not blink, then I'm confident with my original pick. Our next fight, SCP-096, the Shy Guy, versus SCP-466-6. I think I missed a 6. I don't know. The Yule Man. Okay? SCP-096, massive height advantage, 9 inches. We don't really know the weight of the Yule Man. That is a problem, but we do know that SCP-096 weighs 220 pounds, which, I mean, 7'9", 220 pounds. That is horrible. I mean, holy shit, give this guy a cheeseburger. We don't know their age, and all we know is that 096's reach is ridiculously long. Listen, this fight is really, really easy for me to predict. I actually think that this is the most lopsided fight. No, actually no, but it is one of the most lopsided fights on this list. I'm going with SCP-096 by round 1 KO/TKO. Okay, this is an unbelievably easy fight for me to pick. Well, we do know that SCP-466-6... Damn it, I always miss this. I always miss the third 6. We do know that he is very resilient, that he is very strong, that he is intelligent. But this guy has never been tested against a worthy opponent. He picks on children. He picks on humans that have no chance against him. He picks on people that don't have anomalous abilities, and I just feel like that the second that he sees SCP-096's face, it's over. I feel like that 096 is going to barrage him, and I feel like it's going to be nasty. I feel like that 4666 is not going to have any idea what hit him. He's not going to have anything for 096. I believe that this is going to be a nasty KO. Yeah, if the referee does not stop this in time, I do believe that SCP-096 will kill the Yule Man, okay? Let's just get that out of the way. The Yule Man, while he is scary, he is really not as tough as people make him out to be. And 096, unbelievable strength. His speed is off the charts. You know, he can't use his mouth, which is a bit of a disadvantage, but I feel like that his hands will be enough. I feel like he'll rip the Yule Man apart. He'll scratch him up. This, for me, is a very easy fight to predict. I see it going no other way but SCP-096 by a round 1 KO. Next up, this one is a really good one. Arguably our most competitive match in this video. We have SCP-049, the Plague Doctor, versus SCP-106, the Old Man. Okay, this is an unbelievably competitive matchup. Without further ado, let's just get into it. 049 will have the 2-inch height advantage, but that doesn't really matter. 106 will have the 40-pound weight advantage. Despite 106 being named the Old Man, he's actually not that old. 049 is a lot older than him. We don't know their reach. Listen, both of their strengths, 049 is unbelievably smart. Like I said, very good fight IQ. Definitely the best fight IQ in this video. His weaknesses are that, well, that he kind of just relies on that touch of death, and that it doesn't really work against these anomalous beings. That is kind of his weakness. And also he's a bit too predictable. You know, he just puts his hand out, kind of just walks towards you. But SCP-106, very, very strong. Unbelievably strong. Very, very smart, actually. SCP-106 is a very, very smart creature. He has a lot of fight IQ. Okay, well, he doesn't have, like, a lot of skill, just he has raw physicality, and he is very, very smart, and he really knows how to impose his will. This is a very, very competitive matchup. Oh, yeah, also, another weakness of 106 is just that this guy's not fast, man. He's slow. He's very slow, but he does use his pocket dimension to his advantage, but he's very slow. Walking, he can't even really run. I mean, this guy walks at, like, 2 miles an hour. Very, very slow, but I don't really think that him going under the ground and, like, going back up is banned under an MMA rule set, so I feel like that it does favor him a lot. But let's just get on to my prediction for this fight. I'm picking SCP-106 via unanimous decision, 49-46, 4 rounds to 1. Okay? And let me just explain why. Some people might be... No, I'm not gonna say it. But some people might... I'm not gonna do the what are you saying, man, okay? I'm not doing it. But some people might disagree with this. But personally, for me, how I feel like this fight would play out, I feel like that 049 would have a couple tricks up his sleeve, enough to throw 106 off. Probably in the first round, he'd probably throw 106 off a little bit, and he'd probably, you know, be able to time him, but I feel like that 106 would make the adjustments for the rest of the fight. He would have the more damaging moments. He would be the aggressor. I do feel like that this was a close fight, though. I feel like that this is a close 49-46 because, like I said, 049 is unbelievably smart. Very, very good fight IQ. He definitely has some tricks up his sleeve for 106. I just feel like that based on the damage and the aggression, that 106 would be able to edge out a comfortable decision. But I could see 049 taking a round off of him. I definitely could see that. But I just don't think that 049 is as dangerous as 106 is. I don't think that 106 is going to kill 049, okay? I think that 049 will be able to avoid that, especially since this fight is not taking place in the pocket dimension. This would be a lot more one-sided if it was. But yeah, I am picking SCP-106 by unanimous decision. I feel like he gets this done pretty comfortably, but competitive matchup nonetheless. Next fight, this is probably the SCP dream fight. I mean, this is probably the two most popular SCPs. The fight that everyone thinks about, SCP-096 versus SCP-173. You see he has the belt because he won his last fight. SCP-096, big height advantage, massive height advantage. It is going to be hard for 173 to get to his neck. SCP-173 is going to have the unbelievable weight advantage over most opponents. We don't know 096's age. SCP-173 is 18, and the reach discrepancy is unbelievable. I mean, SCP-173 is little, tiny T-Rex arms. He ain't punching a fly with that. He's very good with submissions, but this guy's got no punches. Zero boxing. SCP-096's reach is very long. Now, I honestly believe that this is the most lopsided fight in this video. And there is one reason why I think that. SCP-096 is blind, okay? SCP-096 cannot see. So, I think you already know what I'm going to pick. This is an absolute nightmare matchup for 096. I am going SCP-173 by round 1 submission. Easy pick. And I'll explain it a little bit more. The second 173 sees 096's face, 096 is going to charge at it. And since he can't see, I feel like this is genuinely going to happen. I feel like this fight is going to be 10 seconds long. I feel like this is just a nightmare matchup for 096. He's going to snap 096's neck, and I think it's going to incapacitate him for a few seconds. And I think that as soon as 096 falls to the floor, the referee is going to call it off. Assuming that the referee doesn't call it off, I feel like that this is just going to go on forever. I feel like the SCP-096 is just going to keep getting up, keep on regenning, and he's just going to keep on getting his neck snapped over and over and over again. This is just a nightmare matchup for SCP-096. I mean, genuinely, this is without a doubt the worst fight for him on this video, and probably the most lopsided fight in this entire video. I mean, I love 096, but there's just no argument for him winning here. Next up, this is a good one. This is a lot more competitive than the last one. We have SCP-106 versus SCP-096. Another dream matchup. This fight has already happened, but it was in the pocket dimension, so it doesn't really count. It was kind of an unfair advantage for SCP-106. SCP-096, almost 2 feet taller. He will have the massive height advantage. SCP-106 still has the weight advantage, which is ridiculous. Once again, we don't know 096's age. 106, at least 107 years old. We know he's been around since the end of World War I, at least. SCP-106's reach is unknown, and 096, ridiculous reach. Like I said, I feel like these guys' strengths and weaknesses match up very well against each other, but there is one big advantage that 106 has. The brains. While 096 is arguably more just physical than 106 is, he arguably has more strength, arguably. He's just like a raging bull, alright? He's just like 096 is a wild animal, completely wild, just vicious, kind of like a gorilla, he just charges at you. There's just not really a whole lot of thought behind it. He just wants to kill you. But SCP-106 is very, very calculated. Very calculated. I feel like that the aggression of 096 will throw 106 off at moments. But now I'm just going to get into my prediction for this fight. I am picking SCP-106 by a unanimous decision. 48-47, 3 rounds to 2. Okay, I think that this is going to be a very close fight. I think that 096 is going to win the first 2 rounds. I think that the pure aggression of 096 is really going to throw 106 off. 106 is used to just running through people, and I really think that, you know, there is an argument for 096 also getting this fight by unanimous decision. This is a very, very competitive matchup. But I just feel like that 106 is going to be able to adjust in the latter rounds, and he's just gonna be bullying 096 around. He's gonna, you know, something that he did in their actual fight in the pocket dimension that I feel like he's gonna be able to translate very, very well to this MMA fight. Gets under 096, gets behind him, slams him into the wall. I feel like that he's gonna do that so many times, and that is a damaging moment. That is a very, very big moment in the fight. I feel like in the latter rounds, he's just going to be kind of bullying 096 around. You know what I mean? I feel like that, you know, this might be a little bit competitive in the later rounds too, because 096 might eventually make the adjustment, but I just feel like 106's smarts will carry him through this, and I feel like he wins this via comfortable decision. I mean, not comfortable, but competitive. This fight could honestly go either way, but I am sticking with SCP-106. I'm confident in his ability to adjust, his adaptiveness, his IQ, his smarts. I'm confident in him to win this fight. Next up, our last fight of the video. Honestly, I thought this video would be a lot longer, but we got the two champs. They both won their last fight. We got SCP-173 versus SCP-106. Alright, the height, 173 will have a 5-inch height advantage. The weight, as always, 173, unbelievable weight advantage. The age, 106 is a lot older. We don't know their reach. We just know that 173 is a very short reach. 106's reach seems pretty average. But this is an interesting fight, but I'm confident in who I'm going to pick. We all know that 173, unbelievable strength, unbelievable speed, very, very good speed. You know, like I said, he gets to your back in like under half a second. 106, of course, good strength, unbelievably smart, and unbelievably nasty too. 106 is vicious, and his corrosive abilities is going to be a big factor in this fight. But this is an easy fight to pick for me, and there is one big reason why. SCP-106 does not have eyelids. You know where I'm going with this. I'm picking SCP-106 by a round 5 TKO. Okay? And the reason for this is, you know what? Actually, I might change this. I'm going to change this. You know what? I think it gets this done in round 1. And I'm going to tell you why. I think that unlike 049, 106's attacks are actually going to start to break 173 apart. You know, this fight actually, like, it didn't like really happen, but there has been videos made about it, and it's been the same thing. SCP-106's corrosive abilities, he's just going to be non-stop attack, and then it's going to start to break 173 down. And I believe that eventually, by the halfway point, you know, when chunks are coming off of SCP-173's face, the referee is going to have seen enough. He's going to call this fight off. I think that this is a really, really easy fight to pick, if I'm being honest, because SCP-173, he's not going to be able to move. Literally all SCP-106 has to do is stand in front of him and just pick away at him. Pick away at him, and you know 106 is very smart. He's going to know exactly what to do. This is just a nightmare matchup for SCP-173. This is the worst matchup for him in a video. He has a chance, 173 has a chance to beat 049. I honestly see no reality where 173 beats 106. Even if 106 fucks up and he makes a big mistake. If 173 snaps his neck, 106 is just snapping it back in place, getting right back to it. Alright? It's not going to kill 106. It's not even going to drop him. So, yeah, just for that reason, I feel like that this is a very lopsided fight. I feel like that this is the easiest fight to pick, and I am picking SCP-106 by a round 1 TKO. I feel like that he's just gonna start to rip 173 apart, and that the ref will have seen enough. So that will do it. SCP-106 is the undisputed SCP champion. He beat 049 by decision, he beat 096 by decision, and he beat 173 by TKO. Now, I'm probably going to make a part 2 to this video, honestly, because we didn't include 682, which, obviously, you know, he's one of the more popular SCPs. But yeah, this video, I probably will make a part 2 to it at some point. But for now, I feel like the SCP-106 has done enough to earn himself the spot of the undisputed SCP champion of the world. He will leave with that gold belt. He will leave with the final gold belt of the night. He stands on top of the hill of the UFC SCP world. Alright? I hope you enjoyed this video, and until next time.